Welcome to this Connect M3 Thought Byte podcast recorded on the 6th of December 2024. I'm David Charles and my Thought Byte today is titled Sustain Britain, a Great Idea. The strapline for this Thought Byte is Nothing wasted, everything gained. We're moving into exciting times with so many questions being asked across a multitude of subjects. People have become dissatisfied with the corporate world, rising living costs, and lack of government performance. It's in times such as these that innovative people step forward to offer a lighted pathway into a different future. Like for flowers, the soil culture and growing conditions need to be right if a flower is to mature and eventually bloom into the fully formed living entity it's meant to be. Now, think people, instead of flowers, it seems the time and conditions are right for blooming. Several high-profile people recently addressed a local event in Wiltshire. It was about a new community project headed by Sustain Britain. The project was introduced and explained by director Nick Ash, who, with an interesting career background, also helps lead a major waste management business, Crappers, in North Wiltshire. Additional speakers at the unveiling event were Ros Savage, a fairly new local servant member of Parliament, Jarvis Smith, founder of My Green Pod and a waste site camper, and Jonathan Porritt, a seasoned environmental campaigner. These three speakers each made thought-provoking comments in their own presentations supporting the Sustain Britain initiative. Summaries of their contributions are included below, together with links to their individual video talks on the day. Several innovative elements were described by Nick, covering waste management, energy use and supply, food and even housing. Watch Nick's presentation, where he goes into the ins and outs of each scheme and also explains a neat planning trick which brought one innovation to life nearly 3 years early. At the centre of Sustain Britain is the Sustain Circles concept. Whilst there are certain similarities and parallels, Sustain Circles is not to be confused with the government's plans for 15-minute cities. Those are more about control of people and their surveillance. It's dressed so as to tempt people with the idea of staying local to save the planet. Sustain Britain's approach is about people working together, for the people, and in a way that makes total sense, but without the control and surveillance. Quite different, really. The aim is to get all businesses within a local drawn circle thinking, being innovative about new ways of serving their local communities. And beyond the local circles comes, in time, regional circles based on the same concept. It's about encouraging others to take up the initiative and use it to drive forward new ideas in their own localities. The real powerhouse for people is the people themselves, not governments. Nick says, people have the power, they're just not using it yet. Sustain Wiltshire is a derivative of Sustain Britain, now a registered community interest company, a CIC, and the first in what looks to be a growing list of followers across the UK and wider. A short video in the links below on the PDF version of this talk explains how one scheme was thought of and how it came to derive benefits in waste management, energy generation, and particularly food production in the local circled area. In summary, Nick explained the innovations being brought forward. The first, the Super Midden, a rethink of landfill sites. 30% of waste received by the waste company is filtered out, leaving 70% at present being landfilled. In the new concept, the landfill site is sectioned within the H2S gas given off, piped through a gas engine to generate electricity and heat with use of a special treatment tower capable of processing 650 cubic meters of gas per hour. The tower itself is home to particular types of bugs, which incredibly make the gas usable by the gas engine. Second innovation: constantly pressurized, specially designed greenhouse structures. The greenhouses sit atop the landfill sites, which contains only dirty plastic, currently too expensive to process. In future, this dirty plastic can be extracted from the landfill for processing in economical quantities, using improved, later-to-come engineering processes. Before then, the greenhouses are used to grow fruit and vegetables without pesticides and chemicals for distribution to the people in the local circle area. Third innovation: industrial buildings with grazing for animals on green roofs. Think of these as like artificial caves, albeit shaped very strangely indeed. These strange shapes are determined by structural engineers rather than by architects, given the rooftop loads they are designed to carry, including a full 1 metre of soil for tractors and livestock. Due to their close proximity to the energy generation site, the buildings tap into cheap electricity and heat. The next innovation: housing, green halo developments, as they're called. This concept involves planting a forest to encircle a whole town, such as Wootton Bassett, where the forest itself contains low-density housing. Vehicular access will be limited, in preference to walking, cycling, and different modes of e-transport. The land will be leased and the houses rented. Again, energy and heat will be supplied into the homes from the local and nearby generation source. Nick says, think of it looking like a Centre Parks, but much bigger. Finally, the gas engine has been working successfully for 9 months now, costing over £3 million to install and commission. An innovative approach to planning restrictions made it possible to get the facility up and producing energy far sooner than was otherwise projected. This brought forward significant savings in diesel costs as a result of the plant becoming operational. Sustain Britain, starting with Sustain Wiltshire, is looking to promote the idea of people and businesses coming together to invent new and improved ways of doing things. The time is perhaps over when everyone looked to the government for answers and solutions. Governments tend to fail big time, and when they do, it's always expensive. And their schemes, with few exceptions, tend to be tailored to benefit mega corporations rather than the people. BlackRock comes to mind as one of those corporations. There are only 650 servant MPs in Westminster, with the remit, currently, to come up with answers for all our needs and problems. There are 10,000 times that number of people ready for improvements in all kinds of things and across the entire country. So, all we all need to do is follow the lead shown to us all by Nick and his team and others like them. As Nick has already said, people have the power already, but haven't used it yet. This initiative involves the community taking stock of what it has available to it and deciding how, together, people can organise things in novel ways to contribute more effectively and more cheaply. Ideas and innovations can be shared and adopted by other communities, such that the entire country becomes activated in a way it never has been before. Working through a corporate structure, such as a CIC, communities can adopt and roll out a never-ending array of positive benefits to be enjoyed by all, each within a sustained circle in the way Nick described. Jonathan Porritt raised a number of interesting points in relation to the project, some positive, some not so, and some attention-grabbing points on climate issues. He pointed to bioregionalism as an initiative that is worth looking into and one that puts nature at the heart of community initiatives. He also expressed doubt as to whether local initiatives can offer solutions to our problems. Well, local initiatives could hardly be worse than many government initiatives, given the failure to deliver and done so at mouth-watering costs. Jonathan delivered what must have been for many attendees a bit of a smacker, which was, we need to reduce our consumption of beef and dairy by 80% in the next 15 to 20 years to enable us to live sustainably. I'd be interested to learn from him on what data he is relying to make such a claim, since many profiled people would disagree. The common problem here is the fact that there's a lack of full and open debate on the subject. It isn't allowed. Why is that? I and others wonder, and what should it tell us? Speaking more positively, he also said community engagement in projects such as this is essential. People need to be co-creators. I tick that idea. He also made an intriguing reference to the importance of knowing the truth about climate change and said 5 protesters have gone to prison for trying to have the truth revealed. And it needs to be. I'll tick this idea also. Jarvis Smith has had many interesting experiences in life, including living on a dump. Read for that a landfill site. And he did it for 21 days. Nice one, Jarvis. He began, however, with reminding everyone the definition of anarchy, a pet subject Nikki is very passionate about. And it reads, the organisation of society on the basis of voluntary cooperation, without political institutions or hierarchical government. That is anarchy defined. Who couldn't be in favour of it? Another tick for you also? Jarvis also highlighted 80% of the products we are buying today are non-essential. A look at the shelves in Aldi supermarkets, among others, this Christmas will underline this very point. Landfill problems start right here. Jarvis's talk was above interesting. Watch his video talk, linked to below in the PDF on this talk. Ros Savage has had a quite different life experience which few in their right mind would contemplate for just a moment. Camping on a landfill site is nothing in comparison. Ros will tell you all about her experience in, again, her talk, which is linked to in the PDF version of this talk. Having explained her extraordinary experience, Ros shared a Rumi quote which was totally relevant to the theme of the day and far beyond. It reads, "You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Fabulous. As an servant MP, Ros intends to empower companies, communities and individuals to believe that we have a real sense of agency in creating a better and brighter future for ourselves and the generations to come. Check out what Ros said on her other pet subjects connected with and relevant to Sustain Britain, which she declared is a really exciting project. In final summary, and in a word, the unveiling event was inspiring. In their videoed presentations, we listened to the Sustain team describe some truly innovative schemes, some of which are already in operation. So this is no pipe dream, people. The game is on, and it's running now. And it's not only the schemes themselves that are innovative. The CIC corporate model will own and operate the Super Midden Production Centre. By this route, the CIC will return a profit to the local community in the form of grants to support more community projects. I wonder, could this be the way to go? Not just for the production of locally grown food, but for so much more. Imagine for a moment the Sustain model becoming the standard model for a complete revolution in how we do all kinds of things in the UK. Community beneficial activities involving food and many other things being run by community-owned CICs, with the surpluses ploughed back into the same communities. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has spoken about a different model. He spoke of the American asset fund BlackRock. BlackRock owns more things than most would believe. It appears BlackRock is now on the verge of buying up UK farmland, sold on by farmers who cannot cover the costs of the new inheritance tax provisions. Instead of mega companies like BlackRock owning everything, would it be better if our communities did instead? Well, that's my current thinking on this. But what are your thoughts? For further information on this and related subjects, do check out the PDF version of this article. The reference is TB-4495A. It contains a number of links to supporting articles, plus links to many other enlightening and fascinating articles on a variety of topics. Meanwhile, I look forward to sharing my next Thought Byte with you very soon. Goodbye.